Okay, so everybody thinks that if you are subject to an eating disorder that you have to look so thin and like so little and everything like that. And I want to tell everyone in this world, you can have an eating disorder and be 130 pounds, or you can have an eating disorder and be 310 pounds. It doesn't matter how big you are, what you look like, anything. It is the way that your body reacts and the way your mind reacts to food, to the things that bring you life and bring you happiness. Somebody can have an eating disorder with overeating, or somebody can have an eating disorder because every time they eat something, they feel disgusting. Like, don't judge people, okay? I'm so sick and tired of everyone in this stupid society thinking that you have to be 110 pounds to be beautiful. You can be 300 pounds and your husband can love you the same way that he'd love a little tiny girl. I have an eating disorder. I've had an eating disorder since I was about 7 years old. I would, it was to the point where I would eat food and I would spit it back out because I felt so disgusted that I needed something. The hunger in my stomach started to give me like satisfaction that I was empty, that I had nothing inside me, that I could live without food, that I didn't need something to bring me back. Another thing is, okay, if you cut yourself, you're not emo. You have a problem and you need help. Like, whether it be self-help, where you figure out why you're cutting yourself and what's wrong, or whether it be help from a friend, help from a counselor, you need somebody because you're doing something to yourself that just isn't right. It's not a good thing to do. There's other ways to handle things. I have self-harmed myself since I was probably 10 years old. I have a best friend who I used to, talk to about it because we did the same thing. We were going through the same situations, everything like that. And I'm sorry, like, if talking about cutting or talking about self-harm or anything is triggering, because I don't want to trigger anyone. But, it's just becoming strong enough to figure out that there's other things to do. I haven't self-harmed in about 2 months, and I'm going to start venting in videos just whenever I feel like I need to talk about it because I really feel like it's going to help. Nobody can bring you any kind of satisfaction or judge you on your sickness, on your addiction. Eating disorders are an addiction, and so is cutting, so is burning, so is hair pulling, so is anything. Like, sex can be an addiction. Anything can be an addiction. And it's just finding the people who really matter to you that are going to accept it. Try and help you through it. It's really hard. It's one of the hardest things in the world to deal with. To hear that you're fat when you're like 140 pounds, 110 pounds. It all is a trigger. It's all triggered, and everyone has a different trigger. It's figuring out what yours is and being strong enough to conquer it. Not everyone is going to be strong enough right away. Not everybody is going to be able to deal with things in the way that you can, and you have to understand that. I'm just tired of people judging me. Like, people at work will tell me that, like, I've gained weight or something like that, and I'm just like, you can't say that to me because I have an eating disorder. Saying I gained weight to me is like putting me on the edge and pushing me over it. Because I look at myself every day and I'm not the skinniest person. Like, I'm not. I have big thighs, a big butt. Like, I have girl curves. But I hate them. And I hate that. But I wish I was tiny. I wish my bones showed. And that's an eating disorder. It's the whole mix up of what is beautiful and what is not. And you, for the way you are, is beautiful. If only I could listen to my own advice, right?